Hey, everybody. My name is Carolyn, and I am Twisted Conversations with Carolyn. And welcome. If this is your first time seeing this, it's because this is the first video. This is the first video of what I hope is going to be many. But I wanted to take this time to tell you who I am, what I'm doing, and the why. So you didn't come across this video. Hopefully, you didn't just stumble across it. You might have been waiting for me to do this, or someone told you to check me out. And however you got here, I'm thankful to have you. Why Twisted Conversations with Carolyn? Why not? But before I get started, I want to put this disclaimer out. If you're listening to this and you're around children, you may want to wait and listen until your children are asleep. Why? Because at any given time, I may drop a F bomb or another cuss word that you may not want your children to hear. Cussing is my second language, and I do it very well. It is how I express myself. I don't just cuss when I'm angry, I cuss just for the exclamation of it all. It is who I am. So, this podcast is for your more mature audience. So, consider yourself warned. So, why am I doing the podcast? January 2024, I was laid off from my employer that I had been with for 5 years. I didn't see it coming. You know how sometimes when people get laid off, you kind of see the writing on the wall. I didn't see it coming. And when I tell you I was mad as hell, I was mad as hell. I didn't know what to do to release that anger. So I took two videos and I started doing videos. And as I did the videos, I would upload them to Facebook. And as I went through the process of looking for a job and what I was not finding out there, and as I went through the unemployment process, I was doing videos and I would upload them because you never know who might be going through something at the same time that you are that needs some help. Or you might see the video and now you're going through it and I've been through it. So I took people through the unemployment process. I was telling people, what do you do if you need to do a forbearance? There was just so many things. It was a lot of information that I was sharing. So a lot of people kept telling me, well, Carolyn, that's what you need to do. You need to do a video. You know, people think that I'm funny. They think I'm animated. And I don't know why, because I just tell the stories of the shit that happens in my life. And apparently people think that that's funny. I don't know. But I'm just going to roll with it. Right. Um, so that is the why. But what happened, I know you're thinking, well, you said January of 2024. Well, that is correct. Okay. I never started the podcast when I was supposed to. I was dragging my feet. And after 125 days, I got a job, honestly, back at the same place that I was working at, just in a different position. And I started school and just never had time to try to figure out how to start the podcast. And I guess the powers that be somewhere in the universe said, no, we want you to do that podcast. So October 10th of 2025, I got laid off again. Yep, that's what I said. And now I'm mad again. Like I'm mad again. So the podcast and stuff that I should have started a year and a half plus ago, I didn't do. And now here I am laid off yet again. So instead of being mad about something that I didn't do, now I'm coming to you and I'm going to do it. So that is the why. That is the why I decided to do a podcast. It is to keep, it's how I'm releasing my anger. Okay. Um, Topics that we'll talk about. Again, a little bit of anything and everything. I want to talk about dating after 50 because that's in my age realm. I want to talk about menopause. We could talk about sex. That's a song. Made me want to sing it. Two things I won't talk about. I don't want to talk about religion, and I don't want to talk about I don't want to do politics. And the reason why is because people are really, really touchy when it comes to religion and politics. And that is when I think people forget that everybody is entitled to their own opinion. And, I would hate to say something and then somebody say something back. And now I want to beat your ass through the video. That's just, I'll be taking off earrings. And I don't want to have that happen. So, being respectful, I respectfully decline to discuss politics or religion. But anything else we could talk about. I hope that eventually I'll be able to do these podcasts live. I would love to be able to have people call in. I would love to be able to have guest speakers. I've already had people who have said they would love to be on the podcast with me. And I think that's awesome. I want to say first, thank you to everybody who has pushed me and pushed me and pushed me some more to make me do this. So thank you. And for the ones who have said, hey, I'll come on that podcast and talk with you and we can have discussions. Thank you. So I'm looking forward to um, just trying to figure out how this whole thing works and be as entertaining as I can, but to also be able to bring information. So because I'm doing short snippets first, just to give you who I am, this one really was just going to be about the why. Okay, the why I'm doing it and what we're going to talk about. Now, if the name Twisted sounds familiar, I'm going to tell you why. If you're in the Detroit metro area and you've ever had some desserts or gone to a bazaar and it may say Twisted Cakes, well, that's me. I usually hide behind my cupcake looking like logo. So Twisted Cakes has been around for over 10 years. And I would bake. I would take orders and I bake on Thanksgiving, I bake on Christmas, Valentine's Day, and Sweeties Day. And sometimes, if somebody would call in and want to order, I don't bake like I used to, and we'll get into that another day. But Twisted Cakes has been around for over 10 years. The Twisted Cakes Holiday Bazaar has been around for about 9 years. And so it just seemed right in doing a podcast to call it Twisted Conversations with Carolyn. And again, if you know me, and I hope that you all will get to know me, you'll realize that my conversations can be a little twisted. So thank you if you stay to watch the full. I don't have my glasses up here, so I can't see how long this has been, but I know it's been less than 10 minutes. So if you stayed the entire 10 minutes to see the first episode of Who I Am, thank you for staying. I hope that you would join me for the next one. I hope that you had the day that you deserve. And until next time, cheerio.